Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
And good evening and welcome to the Towanna Murphy Show right here on SVP TV Comcast 17. You can also watch us on all of your digital outlets. What is that? Amazon Prime, Hulu, Apple TV, and more. You can watch the Towanna Murphy Show right here. I am back on Monday nights at 6 p.m. And guess what? Just when you thought it was safe, it certainly is not. Because y'all gonna be in trouble. Y'all already know how I get down. Y'all know how I roll. But of course, this show will have plenty of special guests, like my special guest that's going to be on the show after my commercial break. He'll be coming on and he'll talk to you. He's the son of the late, great G.A. Hardaway. So we'll hear from T.J. Hardaway after my first break. But I just wanted to come back and talk to you, and I miss y'all. I miss y'all. I miss talking to y'all. I miss y'all calling my show. And if you want to call in, you can call in at 901-648-2377. That's 901-648-2377. And we were talking about the other day, which was Donald Trump. And y'all know Trump want to put his name on everything. He don't care what it is. He just want to put his name on it because he thinks he owns it. So earlier today, I saw an article. And that article was talking about the removal of Trump's name on the Kennedy building. Y'all know he named it Donald J. Trump Kennedy building. The man is crazy. I want y'all to know he ain't got it all upstairs. But of course, we all know that. So now he done got attitude because the judge had already, said, we just gonna take the name off. Nobody wanted to go to the Kennedy Center as long as his name Trump. What Trump do? He ain't did nothing for the Kennedy Center. And so y'all know he mad. And, well, these people are really jealous and they're mad. And they're super mad, and they're just haters. You know how he is. He just called everybody haters, and he don't like nobody when it doesn't go his way. That's just how he is. And then he's going to try to find a way to do something or discredit the judge's decision. That's what he does. But that's the America that we're living in right now anyway, because people believe everything he says. Well, some people believe what he say. I don't believe half. It is a predominantly black city, and we got a lot of Republicans running the city. That's ironic. Know why? Because we don't vote. A lot of us, we don't vote. And I hear people all the time say, well, I'm not voting, Murphy. What good is it gonna do? Well, you see what good is it gonna do now? Because we in trouble. We in big trouble. My friend, the late great Gerard Rayborn, had a song called We in Trouble, y'all. He said Donald Trump is so bad. We all know that he's so bad. We know that he ain't no good. We know South Memphis cancer, the whole South Memphis. And now here we go again with XAI, with them polluting the air. And it's in our area, in our district, the poor part of Memphis, the predominantly black. Well, it is predominantly black anyway. Well, we're 70% black. So yeah, we all black. We all black, ain't we? We just is. But those are the things that we are dealing with when it comes to Memphis. Of course, we have a matter. Lord, don't take me no time soon. So I can't say knock on wood because this marble table, this marble table. So I can't say knock on wood. Listen, I got to get ready to go to commercial break. But when I come back from commercial break, my special guest is the one and only T.J. Hardaway, who is the son of the late, great G.A. Hardaway. I'll be right back right after this.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new Bachelor's Bachelorette parties? Book now. Our fleet of bikes accommodates up to 16 riders. Book now. Sprock accommodates up to 16 riders. Book now. Sprock and Roll Party Bike and Roll Party Bikes.
And we're back. You're watching the Towanna Murphy Show right here on SVP TV, Comcast 17. You can watch me on show right here on SVP TV, Comcast 17. You can watch me on all digital outlets. I don't know all of them about hard. Debbie need to put a post up there so I can outlets. I don't know all of them about hard. Debbie need to put a post up there so I can read them down the list. She need to put a post up there like Apple TV, Hulu, Amazon Prime, all the good stuff. She need to put a list because it's so many.
Being a respectful and consistent person, and I hope to bring that to a position of service
to the city.
Absolutely.
Changing laws and changing all kind of. What y'all do down there? What y'all do down there?
We legislate technology.
Okay.
And both the security that we need from technology, but also how to use technology as a tool. I think we're in a space in history where things like artificial intelligence, AI, are scary words. Things like robotics, things like EVs, we're afraid of these things, and for good reason. For good reason. They're very powerful, very
they are.
powerful tools.
They are. They
but-
even diagnose you.
Oh,
they
started.
They even will diagnose you. Now, I watched it do it.
Yep. And I think we're at a point where, especially as a black city, where we can use these tools
Yeah.
if we're educated on them enough. Our youth are so ingrained in technology that it's an everyday life for them.
Yeah.
So leaning forward into that and giving them the chance to use that to bring their own world into education, their own world into transportation, their own world into health and fitness and
Right.
sports and games. It's an opportunity to make things happen instantly.
Okay.
We can make change happen tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
If we lean into that, if we lean into education on the tools that we have at our disposal.
Okay. So that's a good thing for the kids already, because I have an 11-year-old who thinks that he can't get away from the electronics and the AIs and all this new technology stuff. I'm
Yeah.
still trying to figure out how to take the code off my phone. So that's just one of those things. But these kids are real tech savvy.
Yeah.
And so they know more than what I know. I was trying to help Debbie earlier take the password off one of the phones. I said it's somewhere, and I told her, I said it's somewhere in the circle one.
In the circle.
And she said, "What circle one?" I said, "The circle one, the settings. You go in there and put some buttons." But
Open up your settings.
right,
That's
open up
all
your
it
settings.
is.
It's somewhere in there.
Yep.
If it's somewhere in the settings, but I didn't know exactly what I was looking at. But it is what it is. But that's some of the things that we can implement, because these kids do. They are tech savvy.
Yes, ma'am.
From 3 years old to all the way up to, I'm gonna stop at 40 because I'll tell you nothing else. I'm gonna keep that to myself. So what do TJ like? What are some things that TJ likes to do for fun? Because they want to get to know you and who you are. What do you like to do for fun?
Absolutely. I went to the University of Memphis. I was an athlete. I was a 3-sport athlete.
Okay.
I did football for a period of time.
Okay.
I did rugby
Okay.
and Olympic weightlifting. And
Oh.
I was blessed to be able to play D1 football.
Okay.
I was blessed to be able to represent the United States
Oh.
in rugby
Okay.
overseas, as also against different national teams.
Wow.
And being able to compete in the American Open in weightlifting, that probably tells you that I'm an athlete.
Yeah, he's an athlete. Y'all
I'm an athlete.
Show him what you did to me earlier today.
Oh, no.
No, come on.
You're gonna put
Bring
me-
it in.
See,
Bring
I'm
it
gonna-
in.
this
I
is
wanted to
how-
show what he did to me earlier today, because I said, "Where your jacket?" He gonna say, "No, do it. No, come on with it."
I'll do the forearm. We'll do the forearm.
No, it wasn't the forearm. It was the big arm. He gonna go like this, like I be
I
doing
don't
it.
know what you're even talking about.
Like I
What
be doing this.
You mean that over there? You mean that over there?
That one over there, y'all saw it. And we wouldn't look me for a second, but it came back in, so you good. Now, so what kind of music do you like?
So our dad loved the Temptations.
Oh, I love the Temptations.
Yep, and that is so core to myself and my brother, but also blues.
Yeah.
You know, and blues played a huge role in all the music that we listened to in
Yeah,
Memphis.
I came up on blues and Southern Soul.
Okay,
So I came up on the blues, Southern Soul, and the Temptations.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how many times I've watched the Temptations?
Not the movie.
Yes, the movie. The movie. Yes, I watched it so many times. I know the words, all the lyrics.
That's culture.
Culture. So outside of that, because I know a lot of people say you're quiet, you're kind of off to yourself, but they're trying to get to know you. So of course you're gonna get a lot of phone calls from a lot of people that you don't even know, trying to get to know you, ask you questions, or just telling you their life stories. And I know that you have gotten some calls to talk about your life story, or telling you their life story. Sometimes you have to maneuver around that. And how do you maneuver around that?
I don't think it's a matter of maneuvering around it. It's a matter of how closely do you listen before it's information that's either time fulfilling, or is there more to this? So I'm a listener.
Okay.
I know that it may seem like certain people are quiet, but oftentimes it's the silent person in the room that's controlling the noise.
Okay.
And that comes with listening. So not speaking often is my rearing.
Okay.
But speaking with intention and being specific about the conversations that you have
And being
is
safe
very important.
about your conversation.
Not safe.
So
Not
I'm
safe.
gonna maneuver this a little
All
bit, because
right,
when you
all
said
right, all
maneuver,
right.
it's because you said it's not so much about maneuvering the conversation. When do you know when to cut the conversation off, when it goes off the grid?
I'd say, so wise men know that time is your real asset. So when we're in a conversation, we have to know, how do we have a conversation and not a back and forth? And that comes with knowing how much time do we give as opposed to take. But more about conversation is listening.
Right.
I guarantee that, God didn't make 2 ears and 1 mouth on accident.
Well, you got that right.
Yes, ma'am. That being said, if we go even further back beyond my father, his father was a school teacher.
Okay.
And he had a good relationship with the community where people would come over to his house to learn how to articulate themselves.
Okay.
They would learn how to speak, because he was an English teacher and a math teacher for that much. And that probably played a huge role in his children.
Yeah.
And when we were growing up, it was key that we knew how to say certain things, and we knew when to say certain things.
Yes, when to say them, how to say them, and when to say them.
Yes, ma'am. Timing is
It
huge.
is, and sometimes I teach my son that, and my son will be my special guest next week. We were talking about that. Well, since we got callers, caller, you are on the air.
Well, good evening, Towanna Murphy and Representative J.T. Hardaway. This is Cliff Stockton. Great show, Towanna, and everything. You look good, he looks good. I'm just glad to be able to get the call in. But what I mentioned this to you yesterday, Towanna. I want J.T. to talk about what it's going to take to solidify his place in that representative district, and what do the electorate needs to do, what they need to do. We're going to push that narrative and push that message, but I want him to talk about it and make sure he gets it on this show. I'm gonna hang up and listen to the answer. Y'all look good.
No, you can stay. You can stay on and listen, because you may have a rebuttal. So go ahead.
Okay.
Cliff, it is awesome to hear your voice. I'm so glad that you called. And in reference to the upcoming primary, as well as the general, I'm in what's called, for our viewers, I'm in what's called a write-in. And a write-in is exactly what you think. It is literally writing my name as a vote. You will have to write TJ or TJ Hardaway in order to vote for me. And this is a historic moment, and if it comes to fruition, that my prayers on this process to potentially run again result in a win, it's even more historical a moment. And we've had a consistent time with historical events this year, and we want to keep that going, don't we?
Right. We want to. Go ahead, Cliff.
I think that's the narrative we have to push, TJ, that people in the district must write you in, and that's the narrative we're pushing. That's what the message that we need to get out there.
Right.
Yes,
I want to help you get it out there as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Cliff. I know that you support me, and from what I've heard from my constituents, I know that they support me as well. And my prayers go high. My prayers go high, and I know that your prayers for me go high as well.
Yeah. Well, great show, Towanna.
Thank
you guys
you.
look good. Great show. I'm glad I got a chance to tune in.
Yeah, thank you. And people can call in if you want. I had a few callers before my show started, but if they want to call in, you can call in. The number is 901-648-2377. That's 901-648-2377. Of course, it is listed on the screen. If they would like to call in and ask TJ any questions that they want to ask him, they can call in at this time. But we get ready to go to a commercial break because I have to give him a time to give himself time to breathe. You see, he's trying to hold it in. He's trying to, get his six-pack together. You see that, clip? He's trying to get his six-pack together. Like, he's trying to sit up here like, oh, I don't want them to see my butt. I'm a six-pack because I was a bodybuilder.
I'm already an athlete. This is instinctual.
Okay.
Y'all look great. You look great, TJ, and so do you, Towanna. Y'all look really. It's a good look. It really is.
And thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. All right.
All right. I was told I can't go to commercial break because we are filming for Comcast as well. So we're
Yes, ma'am.
gonna continue to keep it going. Listen, y'all can call in if you want to. It's 901-648-2377, 901-648-2377. And I'm talking to the appointee State Representative TJ Hardaway. Let's get into more of the politics side of your position. And of course, we were talking about the redistricting of District 9. And I wanted you to give clarity to the people that really don't understand what's going on with the redistricting of District 9.
So essentially, what was initially the majority of this Memphis area, District 9, has now been separated into 3 individual districts. And those 3 individual districts.
Hold on for 1 second, caller. Let him finish answering this one, and then I'll take your question. Hold on for 1 second. Go ahead.
Are including areas that have a higher percentage of Republican voters.
Okay.
Whereas Memphis's original version of District 9 was primarily a Democratic district. And that puts everyone in a position where we are no longer able to participate at the degree that we once were for seats in the U.S. House,
Right.
for U.S. representatives. Now, this all comes about by an attempt to have what they call leverage
Okay.
over the politics of Tennessee. There is an obvious goal to make the entirety of Tennessee red, and Memphis is a blue dot in a red sea.
Right.
That is no longer the case. Now our district, as far as the federal House of Representatives is concerned, is in jeopardy of being majority red candidates.
So, because all 3 districts will be red. Caller, you on the air?
Correct.
Oh, thanks for taking my call, Murphyville.
What's up?
Yes, I am so proud of you. I commend you. You keep up the good work. God is opening doors for you.
Thank
in
you.
spite of. And this is Bam.
Hey, Bamaville.
Hey,
Bamville is in. I got to meet TJ this past Saturday, and I was sold.
Okay.
I don't know anything about him, but one thing I do, and I heard him speak fluent Spanish. I didn't know what he was saying, but that just grabbed me. And TJ, we are gonna help you, me and Cliff Stockton. I'm with BAM, Valley of Social Management, and y'all gotta tell me a little bit more about you.
Absolutely.
A little bit more.
And see-
Language that you speak.
Right, and see, that's the part that he didn't share. He didn't share that he was fluent in Spanish. Do you speak French? You speak French too? Because I heard that Bam was saying oui, oui. She didn't know that was French.
Listen, I'm not fluent. I'm not fluent. I think fluent is I have my standards for fluent.
Okay, okay.
We should have standards for fluent, but it is important. I think it is important for people to know that I do consider Spanish and French very important languages in the United States because we're in a very multicultural and multilingual country, and more than anything, it's important for African Americans to be involved in that conversation. So Spanish is a huge tool for speaking to people who also need to be heard.
Wow. So, because my son taught himself Russian.
Now that's rare.
No, he
That's
taught himself
rare.
Russian.
And after meeting your son, I do not doubt it. That is a very smart young man.
Yeah.
A very smart young man.
He taught himself Russian. He said something to me in Russian the other day. I whooped him. I didn't know what he said. I thought he was
What you
being
said had too
disrespectful.
many
What you just
syllables.
say? What you just say to me?
Yep. It said if it has too many syllables, it must be something.
I
bad.
had him say it again so I could record him on the phone to see if it was something bad. And like, wow, what you just say to me?
Put it in the Google
Put
Translate.
it in the Google translation. But Bam, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you. And I'm gonna ask him some more questions about him because they want to know more about you.
Exactly.
Yeah, we had a sing off. Me, him, and Eddie Jones had a sing off the other day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Eddie was the lead singer.
And I'm just so thankful that I met you and you keep up the good work. And with that language, you can really connect with Hispanic community in your district. That's a plus.
Yes, ma'am.
We got to get out enough to vote. And thank you for taking my call.
Not a problem. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. And so those are some of the things that people want to know about you. And thank you for explaining that redistricting because it is important that we get out and vote.
Yes.
That is one of the most important things that people don't understand. And I think I explained it some years ago when I was on this network about 10 years ago, and I was telling them every 10 years they vote on if they want black people to really vote, if they want black women to vote, if they want black men to vote. And I was letting them know that it is very important to vote in your, not just your national elections, but in your citywide, elections. These elections are important. Maybe, a lot of people say, well, I'm not going to vote for this person because I don't like that person. I'm not going to vote for this person because I don't like that person. And as I said in my intro, it's not about who you like and who you don't like. If we all supposed to be connected as Democrats, then we supposed to work as Democrats. Caller, you on the air.
Yes, this is for TJ.
Yes, ma'am.
TJ, you may have answered this question, I'm not sure, but if you did answer it, would you answer again? What makes you most qualified to take your dad's place?
That's a good question.
I love that.
Caller, that's a good question.
Yes, ma'am. I love that question. It's very important for people to know, and people within my constituency are aware that I've been at my father's side much of our early experience for politics. I have worked in the General Assembly on the Capitol as a child and as a middle schooler to understand how the process works, to build relationships very early in life. And a big part of getting legislation through the process to make laws is the relationships that you have, the trust that you've built within that building. And as they say, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. My dad was skilled at this and blessed with his ability to communicate and his ability to create relatability with his colleagues in the building. And that's how he actually built a reputation for issuing more bills than anyone else in his time period. There are laws that have been put in place because my dad put so much legislation through the process. And as far as my credentials are concerned, being in a position of accountability, both for athletics and for politics, where you have to put people in a position where they're working together regardless of whether their emotions are at play. Putting people in a position so that they can work together for a common cause. And down to politics, it's not too much different. We understand that we all are trying to participate, but we have to hold each other accountable. You have to hold me accountable. If there's a process happening and there's no transparency between what I'm doing and what you need to get done, then you should be able to call me and say, I need you to not only explain what's happening, but I need you to put me in a position so that I can participate in what's happening. And if we can come to that understanding, then I know that we'll make District 93 into the great area of Memphis that we all know that it is, and potential for it to be.
So do you have any mentors?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's probably the major, I think the best way to say it is inheritance that my father has given me. As children, we weren't necessarily allowed to hang out with people our own age. His friends were our friends. And as I've grown up and been able to carry on a peer-to-peer conversation with them, it's obvious that those people not only support me, but serve as an example for how to navigate this political world and how to use the law to my advantage. So a number of people who will come into a position of authority are people that I could call mentors. But if we want to get into, let's say, sports or even art, and we'll get into that in a minute, I think probably one of the best athletes in the world to look up to in his old age is the great Mike Tyson, who his statement of everyone's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth.
Right.
You know, and now is the time to stick to the plan, because we've been hit a couple times recently. But the evolution of these people serves as a great example for me.
So are you saying too that you are not afraid to fight, because it's getting crazy out here?
Right.
Absolutely.
Are you ready to fight?
Yes,
for your
ma'am.
people?
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that a number of people are aware, but I was sworn in during the voting of the Redistricting Act. So baptized in the fire.
I remember.
And what fighting looks like right now, especially, I can tell you till I'm blue in the face that I'm here to fight, but it's more important for me to, one, show you, and that will obviously not only stem from my first few days in office, but it will also stem from any results that come from me being in this position. But fighting right now, especially as a legislator, is translating your disparities into the House, and then translating the House and making that transparent to you. Having conversations, having those difficult conversations so that we can all participate in this legislative process, door to doors for voters, holding our constituents accountable that haven't contributed to this process, which is, honestly, it has put us in a difficult position because voting is not it's not an individual sport. If you ever go to the polls, you should be taking people with you. If you ever plan to put yourself in a political arena, you should have a team. Politics is a team sport.
Yeah.
And
It
you
is.
have to make sure that there are the right people on your side. And that's what the fight looks like. Recruiting is the number one characteristic of a fight.
It is. You rail around it, huh? You see how he kind of mapped that out?
Do you have a strong plan to get more young people to the polls?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. And this has been an ongoing conversation, and being someone who sits at a certain position of youth, that's core to a lot of policy that we'd be able to actually get past and see effects in the system. Because without this young population, obviously there's no future, but there's no participation. That's a huge part of legislation. Anything can be put into law when it comes to educating the youth. But if the youth are not in a position to participate, then we're not getting anything done. It's like putting a book in front of someone who doesn't want to read, or putting a book in front of someone who doesn't like the book that you want them to read. And as many times as we can say, it doesn't matter whether or not you like the book. It's a lot harder to know if someone's getting the information than it is to present them the information. You know, we have to teach how to fish.
You teach them how to fish. That was good. That was good.
TJ,
All
thank
right.
you so much.
And thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. My lines are still open, 901-648-2377, 901-648-2377 with my special guest, State Representative TJ Hardaway. And you handle yourself pretty well right now, sir.
Much appreciated.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
was a little scared when he came in here, but you're handling yourself pretty well. Now I think I'm going to piggyback off the caller's question because she was talking about the youth. Are you able, are the state representative able to give money to nonprofit organizations such as Miss McClendon? She has a nonprofit organization that she do every summer where she teaches them music and dance and the arts. And so when we were discussing the arts early today, and she has a program that she do every summer that starts June 15th. You know, can some of the state representatives give money towards what she does every summer?
Well, the proper terminology that I should use is we use our powers in legislation to allocate funds to those
I should have said
organizations.
allocations, but okay, you knew what I was talking about, allocations.
So
I
we
do it all
have
the time with mine, but
Yes, ma'am.
board allocation or state representative allocation. I ain't gonna ask you how much money y'all get, how much money y'all get.
Exactly.
But can you allocate funds
Yes.
to
And-
nonprofit organizations?
Yes, ma'am. And that comes from a lot of conversations on where the budget is, where grants are, and where even overlap from private companies comes in, because we need transparency on what that process looks like, where private companies help the state or help the city reinvest into their communities that they're asking so much from.
Right.
And if we ever want our children to have exposure to new skills or to the arts,
Right.
which are so important
So
for
important.
mental development, then we have to provide funding for those resources. And that's obvious.
And we also got to get the information out to the people the
Yes.
correct way, because a lot of people don't know that it's happening.
Right.
And so we have to, you know, I think it's more so we don't advertise it correctly, and the parents don't get it until late, and it's maybe 2 weeks, you know, prior to. Or I think that we need to do a better job with advertising that and pushing that out so that the parents can know that there is a place
Agreed.
that their child can do music and dance and arts, you know. And so I think that that's one of the things that's dear to my heart too. And so I try to get the information out on my social media platforms and talk about it, because we have people here that's willing to work with our children every summer. So when people say our children don't have anything to do, they do have something to do. You just don't know where to look. And we're putting it out there. But I don't think the parents are actually looking. You know, they're not looking, because when I look on social media, I see parents fighting. I see them in a club. I see them doing other things. But then they'll call one of us and say, my child can't read it. Or where's a reading program? Or where's an arts program? Or where's a music program after it's over? But we've been pushing it out there for the longest. Like I have a summer reading camp called Project Let's Read. And that starts on the 8th. And so we've been pushing it out there. Cliff has been helping me. A lot of people have been sharing my post, and I did a news article about it the other day about my reading program. I've been having it for 8 years. And so when people say, well, my child can't read it, I think kids can read if they apply themselves. But it also starts at home. So that's one of the issues that we're dealing with the state, is that our kids are not proficient in reading. You know, what are some avenues that we can do? What are some things that we can do? We have what we need. It's just that now we have to get the parents to bring them. It's not so much of us, it's the parents. We need to take them.
Well, I'm so glad that you brought this up. And this goes into a lot of the policy that I hope to be very passionate about, which is both transportation and education. And we're living in a society where we no longer need certain infrastructure in order to make those things accessible.
Right.
And we shouldn't be afraid of this technology with automated vehicles and electric vehicles. We have to understand that the fear keeps us from participating. And the more that we educate ourselves about these tools, the more that they can make instant change.
Right.
Then we're in a position where a fleet of automation can serve as a tool for transportation for a number of students who otherwise, coming from homes that have difficulties with these tools, with transportation, with private transportation, can have a scheduled avenue to an educational event. And then that educational event becomes something for automation, for artificial intelligence, where we have tools in these spaces where we have 10x'd learning capacity. We have to be educated in what automation is, which is not a replacement, but another tool. We're living in a renaissance of the most powerful tool we have ever seen in history. And we're getting left behind.
Yeah, we are.
We're getting left behind because we've been in a position to be misinformed as much as uninformed. And this is an opportunity. We have an opportunity with young legislators and even some young senators where we can change that. And I'd love to be a part of it.
And I think some of the issues, and I think you just touched on it, with some of the issues is transportation, and how can we get them and then I think it's possible. Anything is possible.
Yes.
You know, I think that after school is over, you know, the buses park and they done for the year. You know, the buses park and they done.
And that bus driver's not getting back
The bus
in.
driver ain't getting back in the bus because hey, the kids done for the summer.
Clock's
So they clocked out. They done until what, August 4th. August 4th, they won't see no kids until August 4th. So we need to put something else in place of transportation with getting them back and forth to the summer programs, because like you said, a lot of people don't have transportation. A lot of families don't have transportation. And so we have to find a way that we can have transportation where they can even meet at one certain place, and we pick them all up and take them where they need to be and then drop them back off, and then they can go back to their various homes.
Exactly.
So we need to put that in place. And that, I think that's one of the things that you can do as a state representative. You know, you can add that to one of the bills or change one of the laws or whatever y'all do over there. Whatever y'all do in legislation.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever y'all do, y'all can find, you know, a way that we do have transportation in the summertime so these kids can get to those programs.
Right.
I mean, we have to, even though they're, you know, it's majority Republican down there, we have to be able to work together to help our children. Now, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this because
I think I see it coming.
You see it coming because it's finna come, because it's come. Some of them don't care about these kids. It is all about the money. It's not about our children and what's best for our children. All they see is we got kids failing. They don't care about the kids failing. Even with the voucher program. Voucher program is not for the less fortunate, it's for the fortunate. They're getting that money to go to private schools, not our kids. Our kids are not getting it. And so I don't like the voucher program. None of us like the voucher program. But that's what we're dealing with right now.
I hear that. And there is something to be said about legislation that is looking for the outlier as opposed to bringing up the baseline. And the way that we've put legislation for education, for opportunities in in the past has been to give the unicorn the only opportunity from education.
That's good.
Where,
give it to the unicorn.
Where now we are in a position, and we should prioritize bringing up the standard for everyone.
Right.
We should prioritize bringing up everyone's capacity for higher education.
Exactly.
And a lot of the way that we can do that, and because I'm about giving a solution, not just talking about the
Right,
problem.
because we need a solution.
We need solutions.
Anybody can talk about it.
And a number one way to do that is to give, and bear with me on this.
Do I need to tighten up real quick? Okay, because you're finna say something. Okay, come on.
Give more autonomy to the student.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Give more power over your education, more authority over your education, more responsibility over your education to the student, to each individual student. What we do with artificial intelligence is personalize the lesson plan. Give them an opportunity to find what they enjoy and what they love in the curriculum. Learning backwards is taking the entire concept of what you're trying to get done and relating it to things that you do naturally.
Right.
And once that becomes the topic, once that becomes a connection in your brain, then we can work our way down into things like first principles or the Pythagorean theorem, you know, and then we understand this is what this does in my life.
And I think that, you know, we were discussing, you know, how can we get these kids interested in coming to school?
Yes.
How can we get these kids on a grade level of reading and math and science and social studies? Because we know that private schools don't take TCAP tests. They don't take TCAP tests. But our children takes the TCAP tests. So we don't know what those kids are doing over there. As far as I'm concerned, they probably all failing. But we wouldn't know because they're not being tested like our children. And I think I specified something on somebody's show the other day, and we were talking about it, and I stated that our children are smart. And a lot of our children are afraid of test taking. Some of these kids are straight A students, straight A all the way across the board. But when they get a test such as a TCAP, they know that this test can make them or break them. And so they're nervous about it. It's not that they don't know the material, because they know the material. It's just that they get test anxiety. And so they take that test anxiety and they fail our children and say they don't know the material. But they know the material. It's just test anxiety. And so I think they blamed us for making the kids take the TCAP test again towards the end, May 20th and the 21st of this year. And so they blamed us, the board. And then they said, we made them do it. No, this is state. It has nothing to do with us. This was state. State made these decisions, not us. And so they penalized us. The people penalized us and said, y'all making these kids take the TCAP test at the last minute, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, I, J, whatever they say. All the stuff that they say, but they don't know what comes behind that. And so it makes it hard for us. And you being in legislation, you know firsthand what they are trying to do before we even know. All we know is there's a bill coming. Let's see what this bill gonna talk about. And then we have to read the bill in detail in order to know what this bill is saying and how we need to maneuver through this bill.
Yes.
Because we don't know exactly what it is until we see it. And once the board sees it, then it's like, okay, well, let's dissect this bill. What is this bill saying? And so then we have to dissect the bill, and then we have to explain the bill to the people and let the people know this is what this bill is saying and this is how we need to move prior to what this bill that they just passed. And so it makes it hard for us to do the job, and it makes it hard for you to do your job. And so I wanted to know that you're gonna stand up for these kids, because it's important, and these kids need us.
Yes.
They need us, and I think that my approach, sometimes they don't like my approach and how I approach things, but I only know how to give it to them straight on, head on, because I don't know how to break it down and make it sound cute, and knowing that we're taking away from these kids. You know, I don't know how to do that, and I tell people all the time, I don't know how to sugarcoat it. I don't know how to tell you that we taking away from your kids. I don't know how to tell you that we're taking money from them kids. I don't know how to tell you that we're taking a lunch program or they're not getting food stamps for the summer. I don't know how to tell you that and sugarcoat it. I just know how to tell you, girl, you ain't gonna get no money. And they taking the money, they stealing. I just know how to tell it. You know, I know how to sugarcoat it, and I don't know how to lie. Because I can't sit here and lie to anybody when my son is a product of it. My son goes to MSCS. And so he needs not just money, not mommy, he needs you as a state legislation.
Yes.
He needs Antonio Parkinson. He needs Gabby Salinas. He needs London Lamar. They need all of you to make the right decisions for us.
Yes.
And so that is why it's important for us to vote and get y'all back in offices, because we need y'all to stand up for us, not just us, for the kids.
Yes,
These kids need us. I mean, their lives is in our hands.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have to maneuver through that. And I say maneuver a lot because we have to figure out how we need to save these kids. Our kids are brilliant.
Yes.
And I say it over and over. I don't say there's a dumb child, because there's
agree.
no dumb kids.
I agree.
To me, all kids can learn. And they always tell us our kids can't read. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. I never say our kids can't read, because our kids can read.
Yes.
You know, we just have to push them a little harder and find ways that they want to read more. And so as a legislator, if we vote for you and put you in your dad's seat,
Yes.
because that is I would say, historic seat. You have to
I
earn
agree.
it.
I agree.
You have to earn your daddy's seat now.
Yes, ma'am.
So we ain't giving you nothing. You gonna have to, I'm not giving you nothing.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna have to earn this seat, because that seat, he sat there for over 15 years.
Yes, ma'am.
So now you gotta show us that you gonna fight for us. You gonna fight for these babies, because these babies need us.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
it's on you now.
And I'll give you one better. I fought as a baby. When my dad was running for this seat, my brother and I were the ones knocking on doors.
Okay.
When my dad ran for this seat,
Okay.
my brother and I were the ones shaking hands with his future constituents.
Okay.
When my dad ran for this seat, we were standing on stage when he said, "These are the people that I care about." I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
As a father.
As a father.
So I've been there from the beginning. I've been a part of his legislation the entire time.
And this is what they need to know. They need to know that you didn't just get here.
Absolutely
You've been
not.
here,
Yes.
but you was a toddler then. You had milk behind your ears.
That's it.
You real grown now. And so those are the things that they need to know about you, that you
Yes.
didn't just get here.
Right.
You've been here all
Right.
this time. And so now you are the face of District 83.
93.
93.
Yes, ma'am.
Who 83? Is it Joe Town? Who 83?
Let's-
Y'all
let's-
help me. It's
come back.
93.
Let's come
Bring it
back.
back.
Let's
Bring
come
it
back.
back.
Let's come back to
Bring it
93.
At 93. Y'all gotta help me on that one. Y'all gotta help me. Y'all help me on that one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes,
93.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I do know that Orange Mound is a big supporter of G.A. Hardaway.
Yes, ma'am.
They love him.
Absolutely.
And as I said to you earlier before the show started, G.A. Hardaway and I would argue. And I would tell him what thus said Towanna Murphy. And he'd wait a week later and say, "Hey, I need you to do something for me." And I said, "I'm not talking to you today, G.A. What you want?" "I got to do something. I need you to do something for me." Didn't I just cuss you out last week?
And that's part of who our dad raised us to be also, is regardless of how you feel, if something needs to get done, we have to figure out a way to make
We had to figure out a way to
work
make
together.
it work.
Yes, we got to make it work because we're not the priority.
Right.
This is the mission.
And he has no ill feelings against anybody. The one thing about him is no matter how much you dog him or what you say to him, he gonna come right back, take a picture with you, smile, and ask you what you need. No matter, I mean, he called me one night at 3 in the morning. I said, "I know he ain't calling me in no 3. I know G ain't calling me in no 3 in the morning." I said, "I know he ain't calling me in no 3. And I answered the phone. He said, "You won't." Duh, I answered the phone. I answered the phone. "What you want at 3 in the morning?"
Well, let that be a prime example that he keeps his constituents
does.
in mind 24/7.
He does.
And he understood
does.
service, and he committed and was passionate about service enough that he put himself to the side. He
Okay.
put his emotions to the side. He put his own disparities to the side whether he was at 3 a.m. in the morning making a phone call to someone who cussed him out a few days later.
Did.
Yeah. Or if it was a young man who needed a ride to his track meet or to his football game or to his weightlifting competition or to the art show, to the music music lesson, music concerts, because the community working together became his prime mission.
Yeah.
And he rallied a historical district, because that's primarily what Orange Mound
is historic.
And with that history of African Americans, the first African American community, not in the state of Tennessee, but in the country,
Orange Mound,
built by African Americans,
people,
circulating resources within an African American community. Those people became important enough to him that now it's my turn to push forward for more historical events, such as this write-in. And
before you go into the writing, because I got 2 minutes left,
all right.
and I have to cut it off because I'm getting ready to ask you some questions, but it's going to be a short one because we got 2 minutes left. I want you to tell the people, look at the camera and tell the people why they should write you in and why you are the person for District 93, State Representative House, District 93. I got it right. There it is. Tell them.
yes, ma'am. I want to keep in mind that this
I'm a
is
little
still
blurry, Deb. Okay, it's coming back in. Okay, you got it.
I want to keep in mind that this is still a prayer. And as I said before, my prayers rise, your prayers rise. And when I keep these prayers in mind, I want you to understand what the process is for them coming through fruition. You have to remember, or the only opportunity to remember, T.J. Hardaway. T.J. Hardaway. You will, if you want me to be in office, if I feel your prayers and your support that I take on this mission to be reelected, then you will have to do your part. If you want me to be in this position, then you will have to do your part by memorizing those letters and writing them into that ballot. And if we are diligent and consistent and we accomplish this mission, then all of my policies will come through fruition. We will have results because I've given examples of the tools that we have at our disposal, but it takes trust both on the constituents' part, the people that I represent, and my colleagues, the people that I work next to. And with that trust circle, we can bring Memphis to the glory that it deserves. We can bring District 93 to the glory that it deserves.
Thank you, TJ, for coming. Thank you for being one of my guests. And I'm going to bring you back closer to time. Yes, I'm going to bring you right back closer to time because I think we get ready to, early voting is July 17th. It's early voting, it's the general election, July 17th, and voting day is August 6th. We need all of you to get out there and vote. Write his name in, TJ Hardaway. Write his name in, capital T, capital J, Hardaway. Hardaway. Away.
Not the easy way.
The hard way. The hard way. Thank you so much for watching the Towanna Murphy Show. And next week on the Towanna Murphy Show will be my son, Ethan Ratliff. He's 11 years old, and he's going to talk politics.